There is something happening around you right now that you have not been able to name. You can feel it in the way certain conversations leave you unsettled. You can feel it in the way your gut tightens when a specific person speaks. You are Aquarius, and you were born with a mind that sees through things. You were born with the ability to read between the lines, to notice what others overlook, to sense when something is off even before you have the evidence to prove it. And right now, that ability is being activated at a very deep level. The universe is preparing to show you something. Not to punish you, not to break you, but to free you. Because the truth, even when it is uncomfortable, is always the thing that sets you free. You have been holding on to a version of someone that may not be real. You have been giving energy to a relationship, a friendship, a connection that has not been fully honest with you. And something inside you already knows this. You have pushed the thought down. You have told yourself you were being too suspicious, too analytical, too cold. But you are not cold. You are clear. And clarity is one of your greatest gifts as an Aquarius. What you are about to discover is not going to destroy you. It is going to confirm what your instincts have been whispering for a long time. And once you see it, once the full picture comes into view, you are going to understand why this moment had to happen. There are 11 signs that the truth about someone in your life is about to be revealed to you. Pay close attention. 1. You start noticing inconsistencies you used to brush off. You are a detail-oriented person. Your mind collects information the way others collect habits, and you do not always notice how much data you have stored until something causes it to surface all at once. That is what is beginning to happen now. The small inconsistencies that you used to explain away are starting to stack up in a way that you can no longer ignore. Maybe someone told you they were in one place, but something about the story did not line up. Maybe their words said one thing and their behavior said something completely different. Maybe you have caught yourself replaying a conversation and realizing that nothing about it actually added up. As an Aquarius, you are naturally forgiving when it comes to intellectual contradictions. You enjoy complexity. You enjoy nuance. You do not expect people to be simple or to always make perfect sense. But there is a difference between someone who is complex and someone who is being deliberately unclear. There is a difference between nuance and a pattern of evasion. What you are beginning to experience now is the moment when your mind stops making excuses for the gaps and starts asking the right questions. This is not paranoia. This is your intelligence waking up to something it has been collecting for a long time. The inconsistencies you are noticing are not random. They are breadcrumbs. And you are an Aquarius, which means once your mind locks onto something, it does not let go until it has the full answer. You are going to start connecting dots that you were previously too generous to connect. And the picture that emerges from those connected dots is going to be one of the most important things you see this season. Do not rush yourself through this. Let your mind do what it does best. Observe without reacting. Collect without concluding too fast. The full truth needs a little more time to surface, but it is already on its way to you. Trust the process that your own brilliant mind is moving through right now. 2. Someone around you is being unusually guarded. There is a person in your life who has changed the way they communicate with you. It might be subtle. It might be something you have not consciously labeled yet. But when you think back over the past few weeks, you will notice that this person has become more careful with their words. More deliberate. More closed. They do not speak as freely as they used to. They avoid certain topics. They deflect questions with humor or with vague answers that do not actually answer anything. They might be checking their phone more carefully when you are nearby. They might be slower to respond, or they might be responding too quickly in a way that feels rehearsed. Aquarius, you are an air sign with a natural gift for reading the energy behind words. You notice what people are not saying just as readily as what they are saying. And right now, the silence from this person is louder than anything they have spoken out loud. People become guarded for different reasons. Sometimes it is because they are protecting themselves from something vulnerable. Sometimes it is because they are working through something private that they are not ready to share. But sometimes the guardedness is a sign that they are hiding something that affects you directly. Your job right now is not to confront or accuse. Your job is simply to notice. Pay attention to when they become most closed off. Notice what topics they steer away from. Notice how they behave when certain names come up in conversation. The answers are already in the patterns. You just need to let yourself see the pattern without dismissing it as your own imagination. If what you are hearing feels accurate, Know that it could happen if you applied this energy consistently for 21 consecutive days. That is the 21-day challenge pinned at the top of this channel. It is built around daily guidance, focused direction, and real momentum. If you are tired of staying in the same cycle, that structure is exactly what has been missing. 3. Your dreams and gut feelings are getting louder. Aquarius is often described as the most rational sign of the zodiac. You live in your mind. You trust logic. You value evidence. But there is another layer to you that most people do not fully understand, and that layer is your intuition. Because you process information so quickly and on so many levels simultaneously, your unconscious mind often picks up on things that your conscious mind has not yet had time to process. That gap between what you feel and what you can prove is where your gut instinct lives. And right now, your gut is not being quiet. You may be waking up from dreams that feel significant. You may be having moments of sudden knowing, where the answer to a question drops into your mind fully formed even though you never consciously reasoned your way to it. You may be experiencing a recurring feeling of unease around a specific person or situation that you cannot fully explain but also cannot shake. Pay attention to these signals. They are not symptoms of anxiety or overthinking. They are your deeper mind communicating something real. As an Aquarius, you have spent a lot of your life learning to trust your intellect. It is time to also trust your instincts. The two are not opposites. They work together. And right now, both your mind and your gut are trying to tell you the same thing. Something about someone close to you is not what it appears to be. The full picture is coming. Your inner world is already preparing you for it. 4. Third-party information starts coming your way. Sometimes the universe delivers the truth not through direct confrontation, but through side channels. A mutual friend says something that seems innocent but lands with unexpected weight. A social media post catches your eye when you were not looking for it. A conversation you were not supposed to overhear reaches your ears anyway. Someone who knows something lets a detail slip. Aquarius, you are the sign of networks and connections. You move through communities and groups with ease, and because of that, information naturally flows toward you. Right now, the universe is using those channels to bring something important to your attention. You may feel guilty at first, like you are snooping or being nosy. You are not. The information is finding you. There is a difference between actively seeking out someone's private business and having the truth delivered to your doorstep because the moment is right. When something finds you without you chasing it, that is alignment. That is the universe deciding that you have waited long enough to know what you need to know. Pay attention to what comes to you through other people this season. Do not dismiss it as gossip. Do not overthink whether you should have heard it. Simply receive it. Sit with it. Let it tell you what it is telling you. 5. The relationship starts feeling unequal in ways you cannot ignore. There is a particular kind of discomfort that Aquarius feels when they sense that a relationship has become unbalanced. You believe deeply in fairness and equality. You believe that both people in any connection should be giving and receiving in roughly equal measure. When that balance tips too far in one direction, your entire being starts to register the imbalance even if you cannot name the cause. Right now, you may be noticing that you are carrying more weight than you used to, that you are the one making the effort, that you are the one asking the questions, making the plans, showing up fully, while the other person is giving you less and less of themselves. And the reason that imbalance exists may not be what you have told yourself it is. You may have been telling yourself they are stressed or tired or going through something, and maybe they are. But there is another possibility. The possibility that the imbalance exists because something about their position in your life has changed in a way they have not told you. The imbalance you feel is a symptom. The cause is what is about to be revealed. As the truth begins to surface, the inequality you have been sensing will start to make a different kind of sense. It is not about you being less valuable or less worthy of full investment. It is about them carrying a secret that has been creating distance without your knowledge. When you know what that secret is, the imbalance will explain itself. 6. You find yourself pulling back without knowing why. You have always been a person who needs space. Aquarius is known for its independence and for its need to step back from emotional intensity. So when you notice yourself creating distance from someone, it is easy to explain it away as just being your nature. But there is a specific kind of pulling back that is happening right now that is different from your usual need for independence. This is not you needing space to be yourself. This is you instinctively protecting yourself from something you have not yet consciously identified. Your body knows before your mind does. Your nervous system is reading the situation on a level deeper than thought, and it is telling you to create a little distance, to pull your energy back, to not invest too much right now. Listen to that impulse. It is not anxiety or avoidance. It is wisdom. Your system is creating a buffer between you and a truth that it knows is coming. And the space you create now will make it easier to receive that truth clearly and calmly when it arrives. You do not need to do anything dramatic. You do not need to end anything or make any major decisions yet. Simply allow yourself to pull back a little and observe. The space you create will give you room to see what has been hidden right in front of you. If this message is resonating with your sign right now, trust that it is not a coincidence. When the universe wants to speak to you, it sends exactly the right signal at exactly the right moment. And you are here because you needed to hear this today. Your support, whether as a subscriber or as a member of this community, is what keeps these messages alive. The ones that touch hearts, awaken minds, and transform lives. If this video has been making sense to you, drop in the comments the day you were born. Let us keep going. 7. Their behavior around you changes specifically when certain subjects come up. Pay attention to the topics that make someone in your life suddenly shift their body language, change the subject, or give you a shorter answer than usual. People are remarkably consistent in their patterns. When someone has something to hide, the areas where they are hiding it create invisible fences around specific subjects. They will talk freely about most things but become clipped or evasive when certain names, places, dates, or situations come up. As an Aquarius, you are a natural observer of human behavior. You do not always share that you are watching, which makes you an excellent reader of patterns. You have already noticed these shifts in someone close to you. You may have chalked it up to them being private or sensitive, but if you look more carefully, you will see that the pattern of avoidance is not random. It clusters around specific things. Those specific things are the doorway to the truth. You do not need to kick the door down. Simply note where the fences are. Understand that wherever someone builds a wall, there is something on the other side of it. The truth is behind the wall they are building around certain parts of their life. And soon, whether they choose it or not, the wall is going to come down. 8. Old memories start to resurface and take on new meaning. The mind has a remarkable ability to reinterpret the past in light of new information. What seemed harmless a year ago can suddenly look like a red flag once you know what to look for. Right now, you may be experiencing a wave of old memories that are coming back to you without you calling for them. A conversation you had 6 months ago. A moment that seemed insignificant at the time. A choice this person made that you never fully understood. These memories are coming back because your subconscious mind is doing a review. It is cross-referencing what you knew then with what you are beginning to sense now. And the conclusions it is drawing are shifting your perspective. Do not resist this process. It might feel uncomfortable. It might bring up feelings of regret for not seeing something sooner. But understanding that you only ever see what you are prepared to see is important. You were not ready to see it then. You are ready now. And the reinterpretation of old moments is not a punishment. It is a gift. It is your mind giving you the full picture so that you can make the most informed, most grounded, most Aquarius decision possible about what to do next. 9. You feel a quiet urgency to seek the truth directly. Aquarius does not like confrontation for the sake of drama. You find emotional outbursts exhausting and unproductive. You much prefer to deal with things through clear, direct, honest communication. And right now, you are feeling a growing need to have a direct conversation with someone. Not to accuse, not to argue, but to simply ask a question and hear the real answer. This urgency is coming from within you because your spirit knows that the time for wondering is almost over. The time for knowing is arriving. You may be rehearsing conversations in your head. You may be trying to find the right words to open a dialogue that gets past the surface. Trust this impulse. It is not aggression. It is your need for truth asserting itself. As an Aquarius, once you know you need to know something, the not knowing becomes genuinely painful. It creates a kind of static in your mind that makes it hard to focus on anything else. The urgency you are feeling is your inner self clearing the path toward resolution. When the moment feels right, and you will know when it does, trust yourself to ask the question clearly and calmly. The answer, in one form or another, will come. 10. You begin to see this person more clearly than you have before. There is a shift that happens right before the full truth arrives. A kind of clearing. Like when fog begins to lift before you can quite see the full landscape. You start seeing someone not as you wanted them to be, not as you feared they were, but as they actually are. This is one of the most significant signs that the truth is almost fully available to you. You are beginning to see this person without the filter of your hope or your loyalty or your history with them. You are seeing them as they present themselves when they think you are not paying close attention. You are noticing the small choices they make. The moments when their character shows up in unexpected ways. The inconsistency between how they speak about their values and how they actually behave. Aquarius, you have one of the clearest minds of the entire zodiac. When you decide to see something clearly, you see it with stunning accuracy. The people who have underestimated your ability to perceive their true nature have always been surprised. Right now, that clarity is descending on a relationship or connection that has needed your full honest assessment for a long time. Let yourself see. 11. The universe arranges a moment that makes everything click. There will be a specific moment. It might be something small. It might be something that another person would walk right past. But for you, it will be the final piece. The thing that makes everything click into place. Aquarius is the sign of sudden revelation. Uranus, your ruling planet, governs lightning-fast insight, the kind of understanding that arrives all at once rather than gradually. And that is exactly how the final piece of this truth is going to arrive. Not slowly and painfully, but suddenly and completely. One moment you will be somewhere doing something ordinary and then it will click. The conversation you had 3 months ago. The look on their face when that name came up. The detail that did not fit. The inconsistency that your generous mind had been quietly filing away. All of it will suddenly align into one clear, undeniable picture. And when it does, you will feel two things simultaneously. The first will be the sting of understanding that things have not been what they appeared. The second will be something that feels almost like relief. Because Aquarius, you were never built for half-truths. You were built for clarity. You were built to deal with reality, not with comfortable illusions. And the moment the truth clicks into place, you will be free. Free to make a decision based on what is real. Free to invest your energy where it is genuinely deserved. Free to move forward without the weight of something you could feel but could not name. That moment is coming. It may be closer than you think. If this message resonated with your sign, trust that it is not a coincidence. When the universe wants to speak to you, it always sends exactly the right signal. And you are here because you needed to hear this today. Your support as a subscriber or as a member of this community is what keeps these messages alive. They are the messages that touch, awaken, and transform. If this video made sense to you, leave in the comments the day you were born. What happens after the truth arrives is the part that matters most. Because seeing clearly is only the beginning. What you do with clarity is where your real power lives. Aquarius, you have a deep capacity for honesty. Not just the honesty you demand from others, but the honesty you practice with yourself. And once you have seen the truth about this situation, you are going to need to be honest with yourself about what it means for you. Not for the other person. Not for what others think. For you. The truth about someone is never just information. It is an invitation. It is the universe saying, now that you know, what will you choose? Will you choose to keep investing in something that has proven itself to be less than what you deserve? Or will you choose to redirect your extraordinary energy towards something and someone more aligned with your values? Aquarius, you are not someone who stays out of obligation or fear. You are someone who stays out of genuine conviction. And once the conviction is gone, once the truth has washed away what was holding you in place, you will move. Not with anger. Not with drama. With quiet, decisive, absolute clarity. You do not need to perform your healing. You do not need to make anyone understand your decision. You simply need to make it and walk forward. The person the truth has revealed to you does not define your future. They only clarify it. They show you what was not meant for the chapter you are entering. And the chapter you are entering is one of the most important of your life. It is a chapter that requires you to be surrounded by truth. By people who are genuinely who they say they are. By connections that can hold the full weight of who you actually are. You have carried uncertainty long enough. You have given the benefit of the doubt long enough. And now, with the clarity that is coming, You are finally free to build the kind of life and relationships that reflect what you actually believe in. That is not a loss. That is a gain of the highest order. Welcome the truth. Welcome the clarity. Welcome the next chapter.